Hello, I'm Jacqueline Hellyer, relational sexologist, coming to you from the LoveLife Clinic for another edition of Fly on the Wall Friday, where I share with you a real life case from the clinic so you can get a bit of an insight into what happens in a sex and relationship therapy clinic, and also to get inspired in your own life. Now, today's case is the case of the couples who prioritized sex. It's actually a conglomerate of a lot of different cases, really, because it is such a common issue. But it was inspired by a couple who I saw this week who were complaining that they weren't having sex, and both were claiming that they would like to, but life was so busy, it just wasn't happening. This is something that I hear a lot. And I said to this couple, as I've said to so many couples, well, the fact that you're not having sex is a natural result of your lifestyle. You're not creating the space for it. You do not have a sex-friendly lifestyle. You don't have a sex-friendly relationship. You are prioritizing everything but. Great little cogs in the capitalist machinery, working. That was the priority, even though they claimed it wasn't. Why? Because they were spending all their time and effort on working in quite demanding jobs, and whatever time was left over was then for the kids and running the household, occasionally a little bit of, me time or a little bit of socializing time. But us time wasn't a lot of that. And without that, how are they going to be able to come together in a way that they're both feeling like they'd like to make love? So they, like so many people in our society, in fact it's probably the norm in our society, thought that sex should happen spontaneously, that somehow out of the blue in their busy lives they should both spontaneously be horny at the same time and want to grab each other with passion and that kind of scenario. Well, they said, like so many of my clients, that's what it was like at the beginning. And I stopped them and I said, really? Really, is that what it was like at the beginning? Spontaneous? Let's think about that. Let's analyze what it was like at the beginning. Typically, what the start of a relationship is like, days of anticipation. There's a long time between meeting each other, right? And in that time, you're looking forward to, and that anticipation is great for desire and arousal. And then when you did see each other, you generally had a number of hours of focused, enjoyable attention. You were doing good things. You were going out to dinner or dancing, walking, going to shows, having a great time. And you were intensely interested in each other. The focus was just on each other. And very importantly, you didn't have any of the negatives or the logistics or the heavy stuff that comes later in the relationship. You weren't thinking about the mortgage or interest rates or whose turn it was to put out the garbage and when are we going to visit the in-laws and what about the children's school. No, none of that. It was all good stuff. So between the anticipation and the hours of quality focused time together, of course by the time you get home you want to rip your clothes off and go for it. But that is anything but spontaneous. So moving further into a relationship, and I believe that this is the key thing that couples really need to understand. I just wish we could talk about this more in society so people wouldn't think that there's something wrong with them or they're dysfunctional or whatever. No, it's generally the belief system that people have that's dysfunctional. Most people are perfectly functional. So what we need to do, what every couple needs to do, is change the way they view sex, right? The conditions you have at the beginning are not the conditions that you have later on, right? You're busy, you've got a lot to do, you're quite tired. Sex is not going to happen well unless you prioritize it. Otherwise, you fall into bed exhausted at 11 o'clock at night, knowing you've got to get up and deal with this and that, and your brain's full of, work stuff or whatever. No, you're not going to feel like sex. You just won't, right? And even if one of you's got a little bit of, mojo going, the chances of you both are pretty slim. So you have to create spaces. And I know so many people resent that, I don't want to schedule sex. And I agree, scheduling sex doesn't sound very sexy, so don't call it scheduling sex. Even using the sex word, like that creates pressure. Oh my God, at 7:30 on Tuesday night, I've got to get out my genitals and perform. Ugh, no, that doesn't sound good at all. However, creating us time, creating spaces in your life as much as you can, and you know your life, right? Creating spaces where you can just be together without distractions, simply focused on each other, enjoying each other's company in a nice environment. When you can create those spaces, then chances are you'll be able to move towards some kind of sexual encounter. And even if you're not feeling so sexual, you are just too tired, or it's that time of the month, or whatever it is that you just don't get there, that's okay, because you're still feeling loved up and connected and you're having a lovely time, right? But chances are you can get there, particularly if you do this regularly, and particularly if you're making sure that the rest of your life is full of lots of lovely little connections too. So that by the time you get to the us time, you're like, oh, hooray, this is a nice time. It's not like, oh God, now I've got to have sex. Oh, no, it's just like, oh, actually, we look forward to this time. Now, for some couples, it's more like, Tuesday evening, we don't have anything on, kids don't have any sporting events, so let's just get them to bed early, hopefully, and don't turn on the television afterwards. Don't do anything. We'll just head off to the bedroom, or we'll just have a quiet time sitting on the back veranda with a glass of wine and just you and me, or listen to some music, right? You actually focus on what you need, you plan what you need, you create the conditions. Other people, it's Sunday morning. For me personally, I've always been a Sunday morning kind of a gal. Just love it. Breakfast in bed, a bit of love making, do the cryptic crossword. I know, I'm weird. That's great for me. Unfortunately, I am at a time in my life where I am an empty nester, and so I don't have any children bothering me. Although they do tend to come and visit on weekends quite a lot, but that's okay. But even when they were young, their father and I, we called it cuddle time. We raised our children to know that on a Sunday morning, mum and dad have cuddle time, right? Depending on the age would sort of depend on how long we had, but the kids knew that mum and dad come out of the bedroom all happy, and then we have a really nice day together. So that depends on your lifestyle, what kind of day works for you. Look, I know other couples who do things like they both work from home, get the kids off to school, come back home, don't start work just yet. Or they take a longer time on a Friday afternoon, or various combinations, just whatever works for you. And I know for some of you, and I know because a lot of my clients, if they've got kids don't sleep well, or they don't have any support around, or they both work really long hours out of the house, I get it, it can be difficult. But the thing is, everything good in life takes planning and focus. There aren't really that many spontaneously fun things that we do. More likely, if we want to go to dinner, if we want to catch up with friends, go to a show, go to a holiday, play a sport, anything like that, we got to plan it. And I really believe that your lovemaking is the same. Modern life is so busy, it's so full, that if you leave it to the last thing, you're just too spent. So let's turn it around. Just like so many of my clients have done, and just like the clients who inspired today's story are in the process of doing. Because this couple sort of didn't have anything major going on, they love each other, they want to have sex, they both want to have sex, there's no sort of actual physiological dysfunctions, there's nothing like that. They're just too busy. They don't have control of their own lives. So they realized that they need to take control, and actually they can take control. Even if it's just, a half an hour there, have little chats there, but they had to have that at the forefront of their mind, and they need to see it as a really beautiful, it's like a beautiful project that they were coordinating and co-creating together. So their homework was to really focus on where in their lives can they do this, and see if they can start doing it. I mean, they were a couple who were thinking that it could be a Wednesday night, because that's the night where they aren't ferrying kids around or doing any of their own activities. Anyway, they had some ideas, so they're going to go and see if they can implement it, and they'll be back in a month. They wanted a bit of time to see how it all went, so I'm really looking forward to hearing what they will come up with, because they were certainly inspired when they left. beautiful couple, very much in love, just frustrated. So that's it for today. And I hope this story of the couple who learnt to prioritize their sex, or their love making as I prefer to call it, will inspire you in your own life too.